Hello, MrBeast fans. We are about to hear an exclusive discussion with recent challenge participant Alicen Cashwell and the host, Super Diesel Daniel Hood. Throughout this episode, you will hear music intros from Fesliyan Studios. Support their royalty-free tracks by visiting www.fesliyanstudios.com and give them a tip. If you would like to pay to advertise your brand and special event, email podshirtnetwork@gmail.com. Daniel will reward a listener with a $20 restaurant gift card. Find out how after the conclusion of this interview.
Hi.
I'm here with my guest for this episode. She is quite a talent, but she is someone who desires to make music, to dance, to act. She wants to do a lot of things. She's got a presence on social media. And just recently, she was on a very small YouTube channel, and that channel is MrBeast. Very small channel. I might be kidding about that, but I am here with Alicen Cashwell. Say hello.
Hi.
You have been on 2 videos of MrBeast, and I'll explain for people that haven't seen those videos yet that you're in. The first one you did like maybe 4 years ago. It was the last one to leave their circle wins $500,000. And then you were in a recent one 2 months ago, this past March. I'll try not to spoil it because these are competitions. The idea is that you can't touch the red circle line. If you do, you're eliminated. You lose out the money. And there's various activities throughout, like he tries to bribe you with stuff, and there's games. If you lose the game, you're out anyway. I noticed in these MrBeast videos, people just disappear, like in these challenges. They're like people get eliminated, you don't know why, they're just gone. And we don't learn about your elimination in the first video that you did until this new video. He mentions that you took a bribe in the first video, you got an iPhone, but in order for you to get this iPhone, you had to eliminate yourself. So I just want to know, what day during that challenge did you do that? Like, there it is.
There's my phone. It's been going good for 4 years.
So
I think that moment is originally, well, when he like gives it to me, I think that's in the video, but not the actual thing of me bribing. It was probably day 5, I want to say, day 5. So I almost spent the same amount of time in both videos, which is crazy.
yeah.
Based on my placements in both videos without giving any spoilers. But I said, I can't remember who I was talking. I think I was talking to Tariq, which is part of like MrBeast crew at this time. He was doing the camera work.
Yeah.
And I said, no one had left all day. And production was kind of like, somebody's got to leave. We got to do something. So I said, hey, I need a new phone. And I like I gave Tariq a look, and he was like, "Would you leave for holding the camera? Would you leave for a phone?" And I said, "Yeah, that and a ride on the golf cart." Because this whole time we've been sitting there, we've been inside a warehouse, and Carl and Chandler have been like riding around on a golf cart the whole time.
Yes.
So I said, I walked up. Here are my demands. I was just like, yeah, I'll leave for a ride on the golf cart and a new phone. And then so. Next thing I know, before I had time to second guess my decision, 5 cameras were out. Jimmy was now out. He was mic'd up. And I said, okay, wow. And he had the phone in his hand. He was like, and then Carl pulled up on the golf cart. I said, okay, I guess I'm going home now. Which at that point, no shower. After it was rough. Eating only oatmeal, not showering.
Yeah, that could be
around
pretty
day
rough.
5.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Around day 5 you were. I was feeling it. I was like, I can't wait to go home and shower.
Well, that's a good story. That explains what happened to you in your first appearance in that video. Because yes, people just disappear. Now I get it. He wants MrBeast. I think he wants his videos to last like 30 to 40 minutes. He doesn't want them to last too long, I guess. But because of that, he's got to speed up the timeline, and that's how. But yes, for people that watch this newest video that you're in, it's 100 people who were like all stars. They previously appeared in a MrBeast video. They're back and they're doing this challenge. People check that video out. It's a lot of fun, and see how Alicen does in that video. Now, part of the gimmick to this podcast is that people have to give me their playlist, and based on the artists and the tracks that they give me, we have a little conversation or questions based on that track and artist. And Alicen has given me a nice little playlist here. So let's get started. The very first track on your playlist, Alicen, you have a song This band is called Half Alive, and they have a song called Nobody. I had a chance to listen to it, and one of the lyrics is that it hurts to be a nobody. So it's kind of like a pop rock track, if you will, for those who haven't heard this song before. So the idea of being a nobody, I think people don't want to suck at life. They want to succeed and live their life. So Allison, I just want to know, was there any point in your life that you felt like a nobody, like something bad happened to you? And I just want to know, how did that, when something bad happened to you, how did it make you feel and why?
I mean, when going through like those bad situations, you feel small. You definitely feel like a nobody. I know for a lot of like my school years, I definitely felt like small and no one. But I think it's just really like owning who you are that allows you to feel like someone. And
Uh-huh.
I think once I grew into like, oh, this is what I do, this is what I love to do, this is my personality, and I accepted that, I finally felt like somebody versus like someone in the background.
Okay. Absolutely. Well, I've had days like that as well. Like you just feel with me, when my grandparents died, you just feel like a nobody. Like, how am I supposed to go on with life without the people that helped me live this life and raise me? I felt that way before. So yeah, you're definitely not alone. And I know I'm not alone. I gotta tell myself that sometimes. So that's a good answer, Allison. Let's talk about the next track on your list. You have Harry Styles, and one of his big hits was Golden. I definitely heard this song, but the idea of Golden in general, is about winning the big one. When people win the big one, they win the championship, which is made of gold. So, Allison, I just want to know, in your life, what championship would you like to win and why?
Oh, this is a very unrealistic goal, but I've had it since I was like 5 to like win a Tony Award. That's
Okay.
so like unrealistic, but it's just kind of the thing in the distance that like kind of keeps me going. Being like,
Yes.
one day I could do that. And like that's probably the end all be all for me is if I could
If you win
win
it,
that one day in my life.
well, if you dream it, it could happen. I hope you win the Tony one day, Allison. And yeah,
Thank you.
all right. Now let's talk about this next track you have on your list. I guess this group of artists, they're known as the Company Original Broadcast Cast Recording. They did a song called "Being Alive." So I guess I'll talk more about your interest in being a theater actress, because I've seen, especially what you put up on YouTube and TikTok. Yes, you've done like a lot of plays, a lot of performing and dancing. I want to know that for this particular track, um, it's definitely a Broadway track in every sense of the word. But is this like your favorite Broadway track of all time? Like, where does this rank among Broadway type of songs for you?
Oh, it's high up there. It's so Stephen Sondheim, who wrote it, is my favorite composer of all time, and all of his musicals like hold a special place in my heart. But Company is probably the one that I love the most because there's something so like human about it and relatable. All these characters are people you actually like meet and know. And Being Alive, it's the last number in the whole show, so the whole show leads to this moment of just like being like, oh, this is what it means to be alive or to be a person. And it's just, it's very, I don't know. I just love it so much. I could rant about that song all day, but it's just, it's probably my favorite Broadway solo song.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. All right, but with that, let's go ahead and talk about the next track that's on your list. You have a band that's called Jungle, and their song is called Kindle Flame. Now, I had a chance to check out the music video. Being that you like dance, there's a lot of wild dancing in this. Like, there's a group of them. They're dancing. They seem to be at this like fancy party, with dinners, Candle Flame, which that's why it's called that, Candle Flame. Dancing, but I guess Allison, I would know. I guess I'll talk about your dancing. Like, how comfortable are you at dancing? Would you say you're as good as Freddie Astaire or Michael Jackson? Like, how comfortable is your dancing skills?
Uh, I don't think I could ever compare myself to Fred Astaire or Ginger Rogers or MJ in any sense. Um, I am comfortable dancing. Of course, like there's certain areas where I feel more comfortable. Like I obviously feel more comfortable in tap than I do like acrobatics.
Yes.
So like I have certain things that I'm like, oh, I can excel in tap dance. In um, maybe ballroom dancing is not my forte. So it's just things I've trained specifically on, which are those like Broadway specific styles, so like tap and jazz, and then like a basic understanding of ballet that you probably need for all dancing. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay, that's
yeah,
self-explanatory, Allison. Absolutely. let's go and talk about the next track that's on your list. You have a band. It's Johnny. Okay, say it right. Johnny Manchild and the Poor Bastards. What a name! And this song is called "That Doesn't Happen." I actually want to focus on the name of this band, Poor Bastards. Now, when I think of the word bastard, I think of South Park when they get upset that Kenny got killed. You killed Kenny, you bastard. I just want to know from you, Allison, what's your definition of someone being a bastard?
I think, um, wow, I don't know. I guess it's just another one of those insult words that I think people just throw out, don't really have a meaning. It's kind of one of those things where people might just say it at the height of emotion. I think
Okay.
that's kind of where it stems for me in terms of that word. It's not anything that's ever in my vocabulary, I want to say, but yeah.
Absolutely. Okay. Now, up next, we have Panic at the Disco, and their song is Paz de Chavel. Now, when I think of Panic at the Disco, they were a big emo act. I think of them and Fall Out Boy. And in emo, people like to dress in black costumes, people that were really into that. So I just want to know, did you ever have an emo phase during your childhood? Did you love emo that much that you had to dress up like an emo person?
No, I mean I had an emo phase definitely of like listening to Panic at the Disco and Fall Out Boy and like 21 Pilots, but it was met with me still wearing very bright colors.
Okay.
So it was kind of a contrast of like, yeah, I listen to these bands, but I'm wearing like a bright yellow sweater to school. Like it didn't really fit, but I loved those bands growing up. So I always thought I was like, "Ah, no one understands me, but it's so silly."
Absolutely. Now, this next song on your list, this is very interesting. It's Taylor Swift, and her song is The Prophecy. Now, I'll explain to people at home that they don't quite know what prophecy is. It's the idea that God is sending you a message from above, and then said person or group of people, they listen to that message, and then they go and do it, and then it happens. That's the idea of what a prophecy is. And Taylor Swift, she's talking about finding the man of her dreams, and God sends her a message to let her know if she's going to find this man or not. So anyway, but now I guess what I want to know from you, Allison, is that in your life, did you ever get a prophecy, like some divine message from God saying, "Hey, you need to do this," and then you did, and then it happened? Did you ever get that prophecy in your life?
Um, Not really. I kind of wish I have so I could have some sense of guidance in my life, but there's never been a moment that I felt like, oh, God is leading me to go somewhere else or do something like this. I think my life has just been a fun series of choices up until this moment. And maybe in the future, there's going to be that thing that guides me into a certain direction. But as of right now, my 24 years, I haven't seen that yet. So.
As the construction of the surgical center was nearly complete, we sat down with some of the volunteer surgeons to hear more about their experiences.
I think yesterday when we showed up, we had probably around 600 people here begging to be seen. And so it only takes one time to see that and to not come back.
The doctors and surgeons that volunteer to help here often see cases that are so severe they've literally never seen it before in their entire career.
You see, we have 60 individuals here that are volunteering their time. They pay their own way. They come back and they want to come back because they feed off the energy of the people and the manner in which they are so resilient and they overcome. That's what's infectious, is watching the people just deal with the hand they've been dealt and make the best of it.
Kids that come here to Ghana make a difference, they own their stories, and it's really powerful because of what they've went through and what they've overcome.
Seeing all the warm smiles on each of these children's faces, one could never have guessed that they come from such devastating backgrounds. If it wasn't for Corey and Stacy Hoffman, who founded GMAD 12 years ago, none of this would have been possible.
When we first came to Ghana, we realized that there were so many children that had no one to advocate for them. Children need families to thrive.
After the grand opening, the folks at GMAD held a celebration outside their newly built surgical center. And the very next night, they were able to save one of the very first patients to be treated in this facility. A young girl named Mary, whose legs were so deformed that she could barely walk. But luckily for her, the new Beast Philanthropy Surgical Center provided the surgeons an adequate facility where they could fix her legs. Mary will be one of many whose lives will change for the better now that the surgeons at GMAD have more capacity to help others. If you'd like to be a part of the incredible work that GMAD is doing, I need you to click the link in the description and donate right now. Seriously, with your support, GMAD will be able to get more kids out of slavery and provide them with the love and care they deserve. Go away, WASP. I'm trying to help people. You should consider it. It would mean a lot to them, and it would honestly mean a lot to me.
Let's go and talk about the next thing, Alicen, that you have. You have a band called The Producers. They have a song called She Celia, and this is a track. They actually originally made this in 2010. They re-released it back around 2020. For those that watch it on YouTube, they don't just know when they released it. And they have a very heavy synth sound. Listening to the song back, very heavy on the synths, and in order to use synths, you gotta have you gotta be able to create and produce. I've heard that it's hard to do to make synths in music. So I guess I want to focus on the producers themselves. What you like the song She's Celia. Do you like the synths in this track? And what do you think of synths in general in music?
There's something about like synth being so nostalgic to like the 80s and like the 90s that just like makes it feel like you're in a different time period, and it's so like fun. I don't know. It just is like an instant mood booster almost, because you just feel nostalgic for this time and period. And I think when people use that in their music, it's very smart to like, here's a certain mood I'm trying to achieve. I'm going to use these kinds of instrumentals. So, and I think in the track, that's the first thing you hear is these like synth beat drops. And it's like, oh, I know what I'm signing up for. I'm ready to have a good time. I don't know. It just feels so like joyful and nostalgic and happy for me.
And I agree. You know, with synth music, I do like it as well. It's got, when I think of synths, I think of Jump from Van Halen. They consider that rock and roll, but it's like a mixture of Alex Van Halen's guitar riffs along with that synth piano. You got to do it just right, because I've heard of bad synths before, and there's nothing worse than a bad synth, but there's also nothing more excellent than a good synth. You know, that and Billy Joel had some synths in the late 80s. So I agree with you. I think some great music from the 80s and early 90s was that good, sweet synth sound. I'm with you there, Alicen. All right. Now, you got some legendary artists that's coming up on your list, as we got a few more on this list that you provided for me. Next, we got Paramore and the song Ain't It Fun? I've definitely heard that. But I think about its music video. Throughout this music video, they're trying to break world records of all sorts of kinds. Like it's Haley and her two bandmates. They're trying to like throw things off bricks. She's running back of the truck, and they just trying to break records. So I guess this song makes me think of Guinness Book of World Records. Alicen, well, I want to know from you, is there something that you're really, really good at that you wish to one day set the Guinness Book of World Records and make in doing this particular activity?
Oh, I don't know. I recently have picked up kayaking back in the past few years. I've started back kayaking again. Now, long distance kayaking is rough. I could probably train myself to be able to go further distances. Right now, I'm just kind of, paddling around. But I think if I could put my mind to it, hopefully.
So
but that would be, yeah.
So to elaborate on kayaking, so say I think a record might be the furthest trip taken from kayaking. Like say you went 2,000 miles. Would you want to set the record for longest road trip using a kayak, something like that?
Yeah, I think that could be really fun. Now the thing is, like, you can't pack a lot of resources on a kayak because they're so small.
Absolutely.
So you got to be strategic with it. But that could be like, I don't know, that's just like a really fun adventure to probably dream of doing one day. But
yes, that would be an adventure. Yes, because you got to be careful. Yeah, on kayak, you can't make your boat area too small or too big, or too big, because then you wouldn't be able to travel too. Yeah, that sounds wild. I hope you get well. If you're doing that, I hope you get better, and I hope one day that you end up in the Guinness Book of Records for the biggest kayak trip. That's amazing.
Thank you.
All right, so that's Ain't It Fun from Paramore, and one of my favorite Paramore songs, by the way. So that's really good stuff from them. Up next, I want to talk about Elton John and his track "Benny and the Jets." That was a big one from the early '70s. Now, Bending the Jets, I've seen the only music video he ever made was when he had the Muppets. I know they sung it with during an episode of the Muppets back in the mid 70s. So that always warms my heart. And him and the Muppets just singing that song. And of course, Elton John, he's going to retire soon if he hasn't already. So I guess, yeah, he's a big name. So I guess, Allison, I just want to ask about your Mount Rushmore of music artists. Is Elton John on your Mount Rushmore of music artists? And if not, who is? Who's up
Oh,
there?
Elton John is 100% on my Mount Rushmore. Um, I think Whitney Houston would probably also be up there.
Okay.
I think she would be up there. Oh wow. I'm acting like I actually have to build this Mount Rushmore now. I'm like, oh,
It's
I gotta be strategic with
oh,
who I pick.
it's okay.
I think Billy Joel as well, probably for
Yeah.
me. Um, and maybe Beyonce,
Beyonce.
I
Okay.
think.
Well, that's a fair Mount
Yeah.
Rushmore. Yes, those are four great music artists. And I'll try to tell you mine. Of course, mine changes all the time, but the greatest artist of all time. Well, to me, one would be Michael Jackson, and then the other one, I would say, I'm kind of drawing a blank on this. The Foo Fighters, because I get them mixed up with Nevada because they had Dave Grohl, but I like the Foo Fighters better. So I'll say the Foo Fighters. And then singing, um, I've always liked Lionel Richie. I like his voice, so I'll put him on there. And then someone from the 70s, Elton John. I like Elton John. He maybe he's my top 10, but I wouldn't quite put him on my Mount Rushmore. A guy I've always liked. Well, 70s and 80s. I like Bruce Springsteen, so I would put him for performing. Of course, his band, the East Street Band. So yeah, so Bruce Springsteen, Michael Jackson. Um, like I said, my list probably changes all the time. So yeah, Michael Jackson, Bruce Springsteen, and whoever. I already forgot who I said. So that's yeah, you're right. This is tough,
It's
Allison.
hard.
It's
It's hard to
hard.
pick. And those are just the four I first thought of. I'm sure in 5 minutes I'll be like, wait, I should do this.
All
It's
right,
a
yeah,
hard
that
question.
one's hard. You're right. Well, with that being said, you got one more track that's on your list I want to talk to you about. You have this song. It's the artist is Bill Withers, someone else who was around in the 70s, a classic artist. And his big hit song he had was called Lovely Day. He had a few hit songs. One of them was Lovely Day. Um, and I guess the idea of Lovely Day is that when he wakes up, he sees the woman that he likes, rather, I don't know if his wife or his girlfriend, but the moment that he sees this woman, it's a lovely day. So, Alison Cashwell, I want to know from you what would be your definition of a great day in your life? Whether going to a theme park or seeing someone you like, what would be your definition of the absolute perfect lovely day?
Oh wow. I think I get to sleep in.
Okay,
I think that's the start to an absolutely lovely day for me, because I
all
don't have
right,
to wake up early. Um,
okay,
and then I make myself a nice coffee. Probably maybe I'll go to the beach for a few hours in the morning, just chill out by the beach. Maybe bring my dog with me, just chilling by the water for a few hours,
yeah,
and then probably come back home, eat lunch, then probably going out for drinks and dinner with some of my best friends, and just enjoying people's company. And then being able to be back in my bed before midnight. That would be amazing. If I can sleep in and then
okay.
go to bed early, that's my perfect day.
All right. Well, that's not far off from a day I would consider a lovely day. Just not being pressed on anything too hard. Yeah, that would be yeah. I agree with that, Allison. So that is your playlist. But I have a few more questions for you before I let you go this episode. But yes, you are on social media. You have a presence now on TikTok, where I found you. It's called Yellow Sad Pasta. So that's where people can find you. And of course, there's a lot of yes, and you got like over 1 million likes. Lots of people are on there. I want to know for people that want to follow you at Yellow Sad Pasta, how often do you post videos on TikTok?
On TikTok, I definitely try to post a TikTok every few days because they might not be the highest quality TikToks. It might just be whatever joke I think of in that moment. But I try to post some things, if not for people following me, for my friends to let them know, hey guys. God, but yeah, I chose the Yellow Sad Pasta name during the pandemic, and I don't know how to change it. So that's I'm stuck with it. I'm stuck with that.
Well, that's fine. That's everyone's got weird nicknames on here, so that's fine. So that's fair. So every few days you just randomly post stuff there, and of course another YouTube, which I kind of figured that you was big in dancing and acting. You have Alicen Nicole Cashwell. It's on YouTube. That's where you can find her. YouTube.com at Alicen Nicole Cashwell. Do you have any plans for YouTube?
I do. I'm really going to try this summer to upload more consistently. One of my bigger videos is me doing a dramatic monologue from a reality TV show. So I think I might be like take different reality TV show moments and turn those into dramatic monologues. That might be my newest project. I've been toying around with that idea, but every year I tell myself that I need to consistently upload more on YouTube, and hopefully this year will be the year I actually do.
Absolutely. Well, we'll be on the lookout for that. Do you have any desire to do the Beast Games?
Originally was going to do season 1. Conflict came up, so I didn't do it.
Okay.
And now that season 1 has come out and I've watched it, and I've watched people I've know competed, maybe, I don't know. It's something so nerve-wracking because I competed against 100 people last time. This would be 1,000.
Yeah.
And it's just the numbers are crazy. The challenges are it's everything amped up so much. And if you watch the newest MrBeast video I'm in, I look like a nervous wreck the whole time. That's because I was. So I can't imagine.
It's stressful. I believe you. Imagine being in a competition like that.
Yeah.
It's stressful. So, but
Yeah.
that's big. Yeah, the Beast Games. Yeah, I think the guy, he won like $10 million, and I think now it might be 15 million. Like this is big. Like this game, the show that he does is huge. I was just wondering if you have any desire to do that type of show with MrBeast.
Yeah, I think definitely maybe. I think it could be a really fun experience. I say that every time I go into a MrBeast thing. I'm like, oh, this could be a fun experience. And then I am stuck not showering for a week or 5 days or however long.
Yeah.
But it sounds like a really fun opportunity. I've had friends who have done it. David Baker, he's amazing. He did season 1, and Akira, of
Yes.
course.
Yes, he did.
MrBeast fan favorite Akira
Yes.
did it. So maybe that might be in the future. I'm not sure. Could be really fun. I guess I'll just see how my life is working out.
We'll see what happens. Or you might win a Tony first. If you're up for the
I might win a
Tonys-
Tony before I go on Beast Games. We never know.
Well, there you go. That's fair enough. Alicen, it's been my pleasure having you. I'm honored that you took the time to talk to me. We learned a lot about you today, and you are a young woman. You're only 24. You have a lot of aspirations. So hopefully, like I said, hopefully you do that big theater production, which leads you to that Tony. Hopefully you have a decent singing voice. I hope one day you record a single or an album, anything at all, so we can hear your voice. And
Thank you.
yes, you're welcome. And once again, people, check her out. She's on social media. With that, I'll let you go, Alicen. Thank you. Good luck to everything. I hope you do well in life.
All right, thank you. Thank you for having me. This was fun.
If you enjoyed what you heard, we ask that you like and subscribe to our channel on YouTube and follow on Spotify. Now comes your opportunity to win a $20 food gift card. Visit the YouTube channel titled Alicen Nicole Cashwell. Go to Videos and find the earliest release with Alicen holding a guitar in the thumbnail. Come back to Podshirt Network on YouTube and comment the title of the video below the video version of this episode you are listening to now. The first person to provide the correct answer, spelled correctly and typed exactly the way the video has, it wins the prize. The winner will be announced under this video, as we will direct winner to send an email to podshirtnetwork@gmail.com with their food place of choice and home address that the gift card needs to be mailed to. You must be at least 18 years old and not be related to Daniel Hood, Alicen Cashwell, MrBeast, or be any of those three people. Good luck, and remember, good music is not dead.